Welcome back guys to Python test driven development. In the last video we had a look at how side effects work, and we had a really long last video where we made a lot of errors and we had a lot of debugging. So I purposely didn't leave those parts out so that you guys could actually see how the whole process works, how to use Python debugger, and how we identify where the problems are using tests. So I purposely didn't leave those things out. I highly recommend watching the whole video in 2x speed, or at least 1.5x speed if that suits you. But it would really help you guys if you guys watch the whole video and uh, code coded. I don't know, you code along with me then. Alright, enough of the bullshit. Let's start with today's video. And in this video, we're going to complete all of our relationship methods, and we're going to try to keep this one short because we've already discussed how mockings work, and we've already had a good base for our tests. All so let's just jump right into it. And in the last video we created our patches and we passed all of our tests so far. So what we are going to do in this case, in this video, is we're going to go over all these methods. And if you have not watched the last two videos, I highly recommend you do so, because in this video we're just going to complete every all of our other methods. uh, the theory behind everything and the idea behind everything has been covered in the last video, so I highly recommend you guys watch the old video. So in this video, let's just jump right into writing our tests for getting maternal aunts and uncles, right? So it's basically the same thing, but here, just like working with get paternal aunts, except this time you're going to use get maternal aunts, right? So mother one, this is the first one, get paternal aunt, get paternal uncle. The next is going to be get maternal aunt, right? And here, instead of mocking paternal grandmother, we're going to mock maternal grandmother, right? And here, instead of paternal aunt, we're going to mock maternal, we're going to call maternal aunt over here, and we're going to cover maternal aunt over here as well, and all of our values will change. So let us have a look at this real quick. We're going to have a none value, we're going to have a fake member with no children, we're going to have mom who's going to be a female, we're going to have, say, uncle who's a male, and our mom who's a female. And in this case as well, we should get an empty list because our mom can't be included in the list. So let me set that up real quick, like I did for father. Mother is equal to female, so our mother can't be here, so we're going to have mother female, and we should only get aunt as the result, right? Because this is maternal aunt. Yeah, only get. Next is maternal grandmother. This is going to be mom, this is going to be female, it's going to be Since we are going for maternal uncle, here we should get nothing, right? And here we should just replace it with mom, female, and we should get uncle over here. So we don't need to set this value over here. And one second guys, maternal grandmother, maternal aunts, sorry, supposed to be maternal aunt over here, and get maternal aunt. Maternal aunt. So these are the only things that are supposed to be getting an error, because get maternal aunt does not exist yet. Otherwise everything else should be fine. And here as well we're going to use get maternal grandmother. This is not going to be paternal uncle, this is going to be maternal. So let me check that real quick. Self dot assert equal get paternal. No, this is not going to get paternal, this is going to be get maternal. As well, maternal. I really wish I had multi-line edit, which I don't right now, which is a big problem for me. But yeah, I really hope you guys aren't bored right now, you know. I mean, just I hope you guys are patient with me. I mean, sometimes it does get boring, but I hope you guys pull through. And let's just create def get pattern maternal aunt. Which is going to be the same as this over here, but there will be a slight change here, as in x dot name not equal to self dot mother dot name, right? We can't include our mom in there, and we're going to get self maternal grandmother. By the way, same thing with def get maternal uncle, but here to use this, and this is going to be maternal, and we just need to remove this line. Something is wrong. Undefined variable self. Oh, sorry, my bad. Yep. So hopefully our tests pass. Of course they don't, because assertion 0 maternal uncle. Right, because I used paternal uncle over there. Yep, all 12 tests pass. So guys, we covered maternal aunt and paternal aunt, paternal uncle and maternal uncle. Now let's get into brother-in-law. So for brother-in-law we are going to use spouse's grandmother, for whom we've already written the test, right? We've already written the test for our spouse's, where is it? Yeah, test get spouse mother. Okay, cool. So now what we need to do is we need to change a couple of things over here. The patch structure will change, and let's just see how it goes, right? So let's create def test get brother-in-law. This is going to be brother-in-law, right? So what are we going to patch? We are going to patch family tree dot member dot member dot um, get spouse mother, right? And what are our side effects? So let us discuss what are the edge cases that we need to cover, right? So first of all, for spouse, if spouse mother is none, of course we get an empty list. If spouse mother is valid but only one child, which is our spouse, right? This case we should get an empty list because our spouse can't be in any of the lists. So the other thing is spouse mother is valid and she has multiple children but all girls. I mean girls and our spouse basically, and our spouse, and similarly here also like all girls and our father, right? And this was also paternal. You get the point, right? No girls and in paternal aunt, only child your father. So spouse mother is valid, multiple children, boys and girls, right? So these are going to be our cases for brother-in-law. So let us copy this out real quick. So first thing, this will give us a null value and this is going to be our spouse. Let's call him spouse and let's call him male, right? Let's call her female actually. And not just children, we need to set her mother as well. Yeah, that's where it actually differs, guys. So we're going to create, okay, that's fine, that's fine. This is going to be spouse's mother with children, right? We don't really need to create a spouse and all that. This is going to be spouse's mother, who's going to be a female, and her children will have our spouse, which is going to be female. Fine, our spouse is a female. Let's make sure of that. Our spouse is a female. Our spouse is a female. Fine. Okay. So for brother-in-law, we are not going to have anything over here. And let's just say daughter. She's going to be a female. And here son and a daughter. Suppose she has our spouse, she has a son and a daughter, right? So what are the kind of results that we expect? First of all, we get the mock value over here, mock get spouse mother, right? So two things we are going to test is, first we're going to say see if get spouse mother is a mock, right? And the last thing we're going to see is mock get spouse mother dot assert called with, right? And between here is where the tests lie. So I'm going to call those over here, and I really wish this F2 would work. Get spouse mother It does not happen that way. I don't want to install anything, so let's just call it get spouse mother, get spouse mother, get spouse mother, and get spouse mother. So the first one will obviously give us an empty list. The second should also give us an empty list. The third being our spouse, we can't have, she can't be our brother-in-law. So that will give us an empty list. The fourth one, spouse and daughter, there are no boys, so that will give us an empty list. And the final one, there is a spouse brother equals 1, spouse equals son, and spouse brother's gender should be male, right? So let us just remove these comments for now. And here we go, right? So let us create def get brother in law. So I guess that was the method name, right? Get paternal. So, oh shit. Ah man, this was get brother-in-law. Guys, you guys must be really mad at me right now. You know, making all these silly mistakes over and over again. I am really sorry, guys. I don't do these things intentionally. It just happens while I program stuff. So it's going to be test get brother-in-law. So first of all, spouse's mother. Self dot get spouse mother, right? If not spouse mother, then obviously we return an empty list. If not spouse mother, I mean this should not be the case because, but still, otherwise what we return is a list which is a filter. Gender should be male, spouse mother dot children, and since these are brothers-in-law, we need to make sure that our spouse does not fall into this, because our spouse, I mean the spouse could be male or female, right? So there's no, if it was a paternal aunt, then we were checking our father, so our father would be male, so we would need to only check for males. But here we need to check for both males and females because the spouse might be male or female both. So x dot name not equal to spouse self dot spouse dot name. Then we get that, right? And so with that, the first thing that we need to do is self dot spouse, I mean member dot spouse is equal to this guy over here. Right, so let's check our brother-in-law. Yeah, false equals to true, where so get brother-in-law. Oh shit man, this is supposed to be get spouse mother. Assert equals spouse brother should not be, the length should not be 1, it should be 0. So why is that? So what happened was I did a get brother-in-law, and Obviously, this was rejected, this was rejected. This should not have been rejected though, right? Should not have been rejected. Gender should be male and x.name should not be self.spouse.name. So I made sure self.spouse, made sure to set. So once again guys, we are going to use PDB as our last resort. pdb.setTrace, and we're going to have is self.spouse, and we do have a member there. Dot name spouse and dot gender should be female, right? So something went wrong over here. So this is the first instance. So continue basically goes to another call. So let me check this real quick. None, create fake member. This should be as a none. This should also be as a none. And self.member.get brother-in-law. This is where things get tricky. Get brother-in-law. There are 3 children that have been passed to get spouse mother, and she has 3 children, which one should, I mean, there should be one at least. So spouse mother dot children, let us have a look. What the hell? Spouse mother dot children. Oh, separate member dot spouse dot. Yeah, by the way, how did I? So spouse mother is supposed to be get spouse mother. And how is this return? So spouse mother dot children should not be get spouse mother dot children. I don't get this. What the hell? Once again, guys, Python, I mean, programming does not cease to surprise us. I mean, something that was working perfectly for now, so far, has now been messed up again. So, get spouse mother is now a mock, so that's fine. Get brother in law should be, I don't know, should be a function, I mean a method, and then spouse mother dot children. How is spouse mother dot children? I mean that should not even happen, guys. To be honest, it's like if spouse was not there. I mean we have a spouse. Is it because we don't have a spouse's mother? No, guys, that's not the case over here. Because we already have a mock, right? So regardless if there is a spouse's mother or not, this is what the value. This is the value she will get with children. I mean there is a spouse's mother with children. And there are 3 children. So let us just test this out over here. Import pdb.setTrace. So let's see. Spouse brothers is an empty list. Self.member dot spouse is a thing there. So dot self dot member dot get brother in law. Or I get an empty list over there. I don't know. So get brother in law, the first thing that it calls is a spouse. It gets a spouse's mother. Spouse's mother has 3 values which is supposed to be filtered. Let us add an if condition over here. This is totally unethical, but fine. If length of spouse, okay, yeah, I don't get this, by the way. Every time I'll just do spouse mother dot children right before printing anything out. So let me just exit it. How is this happening? I mean, if grandmother dot children can be family, why not spouse mother dot children, man? What is wrong with this? Let us look at maternal grandmother, and there's no difference basically. You get a spouse, spouse as a mother, and then you return spouse mother. What is so wrong over here? Know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to print out spouse mother. Let us see. Let's get spouse mother. I hope I did not execute anything over here. Mock get spouse mother. Okay, maybe I spelled that wrong. Member. So how do I check this? I copy this. I mean, oh sorry, man. That's this correct word. I mean, I did mock it and I did call it. What the hell did I just print? This is totally weird, guys. Hmm. So it's like I have a member, I have a. Oh man, it's already been 30 minutes, all because of, silly errors that we get spouse mother, and then we have spouse mother, we have all that, get brother-in-law should call get spouse mother, and every time we print spouse mother, I hope we're not printing anything over here. Yep, we're not printing anything over here. I'm going to print that, and this is what spouse mother is every time. How is this happening, guys? We used to get none, and then we used to get some, I don't know. Let me just print spouse mother dot children over here. That's spouse mother dot children. What the hell? Yeah, it should be none. Then there should be a list. How is this not working out? Dude, are you serious? Because I use side effects. Oh man. Shit. Guys, I am so stupid, guys. Just I use side effects instead of side effect. That was the whole reason this problem arose. Oh man. Okay guys, the same thing over one more time. And this time it's going to be spouse mother, and this time it's going to be sister-in-law. Sister-in-law. And what we're going to have is we're going to have this. Maybe we'll have a son, and the first one is going to give us an error. Even though it's a female, spouse will not be included. Here there's only a son and a daughter, so again we'll get in. The final part we're going to get is the daughter, and she's going to be a female. Sister-in-law, right? So sorry you guys, I'm so sorry you had to go through all that bullshit. Get sister-in-law, 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 spouse, sisters, right? Spouse, sisters, spouse, sisters, then spouse, sisters. How great is that? So let me create that real quick to go for sister-in-law, sister-in-law. The only thing that's going to be different is female. That's about it. So all of our tests should pass. Yep, and they do. Damn. Oops, that was accidental. A lot of accidents happen. And now, since we've tested all of our sister-in-law, all of our uh, relative relations, it's time to get into primary relations. As in, it's either going to be son, daughter, or siblings, right? Finally, guys, I am so sorry I had to make you go through all of that. So we are going to test get son, right? So guys, let us have guidelines over here. First of all, self.children is none. Return an empty list. Self.children all daughters. Return an empty list. Self.children sons and daughters. Return an actual value. Right? Next. One more thing, guys, is we can actually mock data members as well rather than just methods. So instead of mocking data members, we're actually going to set values for data members because same thing over here. Right, then empty. For siblings, it's basically your mom's children, out of which you yourself will be excluded. So self.mother.children is none, empty list. Self.mother.children has only you, empty list. Self.mother.children has other people. Then basically return actual value. Right, so let's get started with get son. The first thing is if self.children is none, so let us do that. Dot children equals empty. Right, better, let's create a member called member and 5 dummy male. Right, let us do that. And then member will not have any children so far, so self.assert equal member.children get son will return in an empty list. Right, next is we're going to create a member which is so excluding, okay, so member dot son, right? So let us create a son. Let us create a daughter. Let us call her daughter. She'll be a female, right? And now get son will first return an empty list, then member dot children dot append son. I mean, this is totally unethical. I should not be doing this. I think I should mock some things out. I mean, I think there should be values for get children and all that, get mother, get father, and all that, because this is totally unethical. Okay, guys, we'll refactor our tests later on during the final, release. Again, return an empty list and then append son, and finally sons, and the length of sons should be 1, and sons 0 dot name should be son, and assert equal sons 0 dot gender should be gender dot male. Yep, that's how it is. This is going to be get daughter, which is the exact opposite of get son, and this is going to be a daughter, which is going to be, oh right, sorry, we already have a daughter and a daughter, right? TR, yep. And we're going to call get daughter here as well. Crap. And oh man, right? And here instead we'll do daughter is equal to member dot get daughter. Yep. And now instead of sons, I'm going to use daughters, daughters, daughters. She's going to be a female. And her name would be daughter. First thing that's going to happen is son, and then I'm going to add a daughter, because that's when I'll have. So yeah, so let's create get son, right? If self dot, if not self dot children, return. So we're going to return this. If not self dot children, so otherwise what we're going to return is the list where the gender is going to be male, and this is going to be self dot children, right? Cool. Also we're going to add a continuation line over here as well. it's going to be the same thing, except this is going to be female, right? So our tests should pass for these as well. Yup, all of our tests pass. And now we get to the final one, which is get siblings. So for now we let this pass. So for siblings, the first thing that we do is we create a dummy member. I'll just copy this line out, and we're gonna copy a son as well as a daughter. And we're gonna create a mother. A mother will be ID 9, mother female, right? So now what we're going to do is member dot mother equals mother, member dot mother dot children dot append member dot extend, I would say, and then member dot son daughter, right? So 3 children, out of which we are 1. So what's going to happen is, if there are no children, okay, right now I don't have I will not have any value for mother, so member dot get siblings will give me an empty list, right? Then after I do have a mother, but the mother does not have any children, so get siblings is still going to give me an empty list, right? And now after I do have children, I'm going to call them siblings, and there are going to be 3 things. Length of siblings should be 2, because there are 2 siblings. So again, siblings 0 could be male or female, either whatever. So we're not going to check that out. This is all we're going to do. So the first thing that we're going to check is if not mother, I mean self dot mother, it's going to be an empty list, and then it's going to be a filter. So you're basically filtering out self dot mother dot children. The only thing that we're checking is x dot name should not be equal to self dot name. Everything other than ourselves, right? So I hope this passes as well. Bound member of member get siblings of I think this is the error. member.getSiblings is null. Right, because if not, self.mother.children, which is never going to be the case, return an empty list. Okay, there's something wrong going on here. Something had to go wrong. And let us test this out. So let us look at member, and we don't have mother as well, right? So that's what we wanted. So the first member dot get siblings should give us an empty list, which is fine. And then we have member mother equals mother. So why did this happen? Bound method member dot get siblings. Okay, I think I returned the whole method. This is weird. Why would I get an error like this? Return. So this is get siblings, right? If I'm not wrong. Let's say member dot get siblings gives me. Guys, I am totally losing it right now. The tests are super long. I mean, yep. These two videos must have been the most boring videos you guys have ever watched on YouTube, and I'm sorry for that. Like, this is the first time I'm creating any YouTube video of any sort. So thank you guys. We have finally completed our member class, and now we are going to get relationships. Right, we are going to have to create a get relationship method as well, which we are going to do in the next video. And what we are going to do is we're also going to have a look at the family tree, how we construct the family tree. And with that, by the way guys, before leaving I just want to ask you guys something. Usually when you write code without tests, you tend to print a lot of things out in the console, test values in the console and all that, right? With tests, what happened is you didn't have to actually run the program and test the value. I hope you noticed that, because this is how test driven development works. I mean, of course, there were a lot of bugs. I had been doing a lot of, live, a lot of things live. I didn't have anything prepared, uh, which is my mistake actually. And I'm sorry if you guys were bored, but really, guys, this is something you need to understand about test-driven development. As in, really, you really don't need to go and run things to get your tests. I mean, to test your code. You can really write these tests, and they will, they sort of act as an automatic executioner of things. So now we have all of our tests for member class, and we may need to refactor some of the things. For example, instead of actually adding members, children, or actually setting values for sons and daughters, we can actually, create methods for getting son, daughter, and all that, and we can actually, get fake members like we did for our get spouse, mother, and all that. So later on we'll definitely try and refactor them, but for now we have our tests, and we have almost completed our member class. So in the next video we'll actually complete our member class. So guys, till then, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.